and the only Gentile who enjoys this kind of heavenly honor. The other one is Esther, and she was an Israelite. First and foremost, Ruth finds the right connection by sticking to her godly mother-in-law, Naomi. And we as Christians need to understand that if we're going to stay true to God and we're going to cross over that line of mediocrity and we're going to stand firm in God and do and live as God orders us to live, calls for us to live, we need the right connection. The right connection. We need to get connected with people who are connected to God. In your home, in your office, in your workplace, in your schools, wherever you find yourself, you have a certain sphere of influence. People who are about you every day. People who can have influence upon your life, whether by their political opinions, or their worldly opinions, or their religious opinions. We have to have the right connection. Ruth replied, "Don't ask me to leave and turn back. The right connection is the line that connects you to the right channel, especially to God and His people." We have to have that right connection. People who find the right connection, or people like Ruth, when she finds the right connection with Naomi, and she becomes the Messiah of Jesus Christ. Not the Messiah. She becomes the ancestor of the Messiah, Jesus Christ. There's the harlot Rahab, who finds the right connection with two spies from Israel, and that ends up saving her life and the life of her family. And she too is listed in that genealogy of Christ. The Egyptian ruler finds the right connection with Joseph, and the Lord blessed his household. Timothy finds the right connection with Paul and becomes a faithful pastor. Suppose they did not find the right connection. The end of their stories might be different. How about you? There was somebody in your life. Maybe it was a minister. Maybe it was a grandmother or a grandfather or a mother or a father or a sister or a brother or just a really good friend. Somebody made a connection with you and introduced you to Jesus Christ, or was a faithful influence upon you to make you desire to live out your faith. The wrong connection can disconnect us from God and His people. Lot, on the latter part of his life, finds the wrong connection in Sodom, and it ruined his family. Samson finds the wrong wife and wakes up in the hands of the enemy. The Bible gives us a stern warning. In 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33, he states, "Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character." And we are called to be in the world, but not to be of the world. And so we need to be careful. I'm not telling you that you need to go live in a monastery and separate yourself from the world. But I am telling you that you need to be careful of the company that you keep, and who you're spending the most time with, and who's influencing your life. Secondly, Ruth was able to break through the line of mediocrity because she finds the right direction. She wants to follow the will of God for her life, and she knew that she still needs the guidance of godly spiritual leader like Naomi. She found the right direction. We need the right direction. The right direction is to choose direction according to the will of God. "I will go wherever you go, and I will live wherever you live," she said to Naomi. The right direction helps us to fulfill our life purpose. Heading to the right direction is very important so we can reach our divine destiny. Ruth chooses the right direction and fulfills the will of God for her life. Joshua gave the same challenge to the Israelites when he said, In Joshua chapter 24, verse 15, "But if you are unwilling to serve the Lord, then choose today whom you will serve. Will you prefer the gods of your ancestors who served beyond the Euphrates? Or will it be the gods of the Amorites in whose land you now dwell? But as for me and my family, we will serve the Lord." The right direction doesn't promise us a way through a beautiful garden or a bed of roses. Surely there will be difficult times along the way. But Jesus promises His abiding presence when He says, in Matthew 28:20, "Obey everything I have commanded you, and surely I will be with you always to the very end of the age." There are several steps to help us on the journey. Those steps are to use the Word of God. And when I say use the Word of God, I mean do more than just take it to church on Sunday. I mean, take it off the shelf, blow the dust off of it, and read it on a daily basis to feed you spiritually. Use the Word of God. Focus on your hope. Your hope is not in that new car. Your hope is not in a better house. Your hope is not in that promotion. Your true hope is in Jesus Christ. That has to be first and foremost in your life. Share the love of God. You know what the old prophet said? What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Oh wait, that was the Carpenters, wasn't it? Okay. But they're making a true point there. People want to be loved. And people want to know the unconditional love of Jesus Christ. And how will they ever know it if you do not tell them about it? Share the love of God. Recharge your strength by daily devotions. No matter how good I try to make a sermon, it's not enough to get you through the week. You need to be in the Bible daily. Now, you know, if I just ate once a week, I'd be a whole different looking man. But, you know, after a while, I would starve. The body can't live on that little substance, no matter how much you eat that time. You have to eat more than once a week. You have to spiritually feed yourself more than once a week. You need to feed upon the Word of God to keep you spiritually strong. Be encouraged with fellowship. You know, I know that there was probably some of you out there this morning that when you got up, you thought to yourself, you know, I just don't really feel like going to church. I'm so tired. I'll go next Sunday. Or I've got things to do. I don't have time for church today. But it's a different story once you get here. Once you get here, when you meet up with your church family and you see the smiles and you know you got people that care about you and you know you've got people who are going through struggles themselves, sometimes the very struggles that you're going through. And the only way that they're going to get through it and the only way that you're going to get through it is through the grace of God and encouragement from one another. Be encouraged with fellowship. No man is an island. We need fellowship of other believers who will ignite the fire and passion inside of us. Ruth finds the third step so she can break through the line of mediocrity. It is the fellowship or communion with other believers of God. She made the strong decision by declaring, your people will be my people. We also have to have the right communion. The right communion. Now, what is the right communion? It's Welch's grape juice and little crackers that you can break apart.